Hey everybody, how you guys doing?
Doing well.
Howdy.
Hey, Ian, can you change our view to gallery view? Thank you. Yeah. How you guys doing this evening?
There's Zach.
This is a one bottle night, right?
The one bottle night. You're gonna find out if you have.
And a different color than the one behind you on your background.
Yes, it is. It is a different type than what's on my background behind me. Has anyone pulled that? Can you turn up the volume a little bit? That little thing right there.
I was gonna say, is it safe to pour tonight? I poured early last week, so I want to make sure.
You can. You might want to. So don't pour the full bottle. Pour about half the bottle out. And
Already took a sniff of it.
you already know what that is.
Oh yeah.
So tonight we're changing things up a little bit. We're switching to our first tequila. We've done whiskey, we've done gin. I wanted to introduce tequila for two reasons. One, Wednesday's Cinco de Mayo. I mean, it just kind of fit right in that we do a tequila tonight. And the second reason why is because with the Probst Guild, we're not just about bourbon and whiskey. We are about all spirits. And one of the things that really struck me as I've gone through this journey of spirits, you guys remember when you first had your first shot of Jack, right? You shot it, you chased it with a beer to get that taste out of your mouth, but ooh, I drank whiskey. How many of you guys, that was your experience with tequila? You know, it was as much salt and Brooker. Yeah, it was as much salt, shoot it and suck on that lime as much as you can and maybe chase it with a Corona again to get that flavor out of your mouth. But hey, you did a shot of tequila, right? Yeah, you're one of the crowd. But after a couple of those, man, your night's done. And did you remember the next night and where was your clothes, right? We're adults now, and Brooker will call you an adult, By the way, guys, if you haven't met Brooker, he's been absent for a couple of these. Here's our young 21-year-old. He looks like a young kid, but he is 21.
Howdy, y'all. Sorry, I've been working a lot. I really wanted to be a part of this one, and I wanted to make sure I want to be part of other meetings as well. So, howdy.
So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to learn quickly how to taste tequila, smell it, nose it, just like whiskey. There's actually a flavor wheel we're going to show you just like with whiskey. So we're going to nose it first. We're going to do that first sip that's going to cleanse our palate. The second sip, we're going to get our flavor. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to get educated on it. Our distiller still hasn't shown up yet, so we can have some fun. They haven't logged in yet. But he's going to pour it. Let's start with a little sippy here. And Ian's going to throw up the screen, the tasting notes here.
How come I don't get to see Ian?
You want to see Ian? Ian can. God darn it. There he is. By the way, we are in our new studio tonight. You'll notice the bar backdrop is gone. Our first night in our new studio.
Is it a new studio or a new green screen?
No, it's actually a studio. It's a full-on studio.
We've been working on this, brother.
Yeah. So what are some of the initial smells you get out of this? And we're looking at this flavor wheel here. What are some of the initial nose flavors you guys are picking up? Y'all are quiet. Everyone's muted. You got to take yourself off mute. You want to talk to me? You know I'll call you out.
Obviously,
we got to read a new wheel now. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Ramon?
It's
Put on my glasses to read a wheel.
This is a
vegetative, earthy, little woody.
Earthy, woody.
Kind of ethanol.
We're gonna get them the floral notes. Hair bit of sweetness coming off the agave.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree there. I get a lot of that floral. And take your first sip, and then let's have our second sip.
While you're doing that, James, can you send this out to us if you haven't already?
Absolutely. We'll be happy to send this over.
Yeah, this would be awesome.
So one of the first things I pick up is on the back of my palate. I'm getting pepper.
Yeah, I'm getting almost a slight smoked pepper, almost.
Yep.
Like that.
The smokiness really comes out in this more than I would expect in a tequila. Usually I expect that in a mezcal more than tequila. Now there's some flavors on this wheel that we just haven't seen before, right? If you look on that bottom left corner, the chemical, the petroleum, kerosene, tar. And believe it or not, I have had some tequilas that have that flavor in it. I'm so glad this one doesn't.
Whiskeys that have had that flavor in it.
Yeah, the skunk, papery, wet cardboard. This has none of that, right? We're hitting those fruity, floral. I do agree. There's some vegetative there that we're picking up. Overall, though, what's and again, our distiller has not logged in. So, what is your unbiased opinion on this? I mean, you guys have not had tequila as part of this event before. What's your good, bad, otherwise?
I was really surprised on how easy it went down.
Absolutely, Brooker.
It's a good silver.
Decent Blanco tequila.
This is a Blanco.
Is going to highlight, in a mixed cocktail or a margarita. It's not going to overpower anything. You might get some of the agave note. Some of that spice is going to linger around. It reminds me of 512.
Okay.
This is
I don't
mine and
drink
Cindy's.
Blanco tequila very often. I'm a Reposado and an Añejo person, so it's hard to tell.
Kenny?
This is mine and Cindy's favorite tequila, but I recognized it as soon as I smelled it. So
So Jeremy, you said you're a Reposado and Añejo. This is, for a Blanco, then for someone who doesn't really appreciate many Blancos, what do you think of this one?
No, it's fantastic. I appreciate them, but they get lost when I make my margaritas and stuff. And I just really enjoy that extra age you get from a Reposado.
That one right here.
So.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and slide over, and we're going to bring our distillers in. We are tasting Dos Quernos Tequila. There's a couple of my friends here. So we got Sylvester down here, the tall one. We got Peter here,
The short one.
the short one. They're from Dos Quernos Tequila, local Pflugerville tequila.
He's tall for a Mexican.
What's that?
He's tall for a Mexican.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I am. I'm like the world's tallest midget. So I grew in some extra ones just to kind of even out the shortness on his end. So that way when we go together, you know what I
I'm
mean?
wearing platform sandals.
Yeah.
I guess
Chunkless.
Chanclas, yeah. There you
Dangerous
go.
chanclas.
We have.
Well, what's going on, y'all?
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I know. First off, thank you, James, for inviting us in and putting us together.
Yes.
And we need to catch up to these guys because they got started without us. We need to catch up with y'all. So if you give us 1 second, we're gonna wet our
We have
lips
a
on
toast for
this.
this.
We haven't okay. So yeah,
You got to know this one.
it's called the Quernos Count. No, I'm gonna let you do it.
Uno,
Dos, dos.
Now, some of you guys were at the event we did here at the house. Was it a year ago? Right?
Yeah. I might have gotten a little carried away. Sorry if I was. I did a little booze dancing.
That was our first
and-
event.
Yeah, it was our first event. I got overzealous.
There you go.
Oh, he's the one that you were telling us about the other weekend.
No,
I think that's my cue. It's my cue.
execute, right.
He tells everybody that.
Yeah, it was a great event. Yeah, absolutely.
We're all about making memories and stories.
Yeah.
Right, so.
For the record, I did end up naked.
I wasn't telling that part. All right, so
I
real
actually
quick.
wasn't here for that.
It is for everyone. Yeah.
No, not here, but at my hotel.
So as you guys can tell, these guys love to party. They're great friends. I love their product. It is my favorite tequila. And you guys hear me say it's my favorite bottle, right? This is my favorite tequila. I've been, happy to introduce a lot of you guys to this product. And what I want to do is give them an opportunity to tell us a little bit about where they came from, a little bit about their product. And I want to start off with that story of how you guys started this. And
Yeah.
you were there.
I was there, not all there, because to agree to this, you have to be somewhat crazy. We were celebrating.
It was a UT game.
It was a UT game. We're watching UT. Obviously, we had shots of tequila on the table, and UT scores. And Angel stands up and he throws his horns up and he goes, "Dos Cuernos."
Yeah.
And he started saying it like over and over. And then he takes a shot of tequila. It's like, "I want to drink my own tequila." Those were his words. I looked at him and said, "Bro, just drink that tequila," because that is just, for me, I was like, nah, it's just, I wouldn't imagine myself here right now if you paid me to imagine it. You know what I mean? So
and then I come along and they're already brewing with this idea. This idea is already, those two infamous words of Dos Cuernos already kind of started, seeding some agave brain stems, you know what I mean? And so they brought me in and I was like, what else am I going to do with my life? You know what I mean? If I'm not doing a tequila. And so, and from there, the idea was born. It started off, we created the LLC in 2014 and we're humble guys. We're family people. You know what I mean? We got 9-to-5 jobs. And so this was for sure a side endeavor that we were partying already on the weekends. We would see each other 4 or 5 times a week anyway. So might as well start a business together. You know what I mean? We're already having the meetings and powwows and crazy brainstorms.
Yeah.
We just started,
putting them in the paper and putting them into action, and Dos Cuernos was born.
I tell my wife, these are business meetings. It's like, all y'all do is drink. How do you think we came up with the idea of this company? Exactly. So it's part of the recipe, and it definitely kind of tells to who we are, what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a product that folks can just enjoy in your good times or bad times, celebratory times. With everybody. Let Dos Cuernos be part of that time. You have memories already. And so we just want Dos Cuernos Tequila to be part of that great memory that you're having. And so we did everything ourselves, the licensing, with the design of the bottle, working with vendors, you know what I mean? Everything. And that's why it took so long, because we took everything on ourselves. We made various trips to Mexico. We didn't leave Mexico until we found the perfect recipe for our bottle. Even to the design of the top. You know what I mean? We worked with a guy, he was an Italian guy who lives in Mexico, Guadalajara. But you'll notice on the top, and I don't know if I can get close here to the camera, but you'll see 3 letters that says GPT. And what those letters are, it's our last name. So G is Gallegos Angel. He's not here. His son had a baseball game that he had to coach. So very, very much more important stuff. P is Palacios. That's me. And then T for trouble or Trevino.
Or tequila.
Or tequila.
Man. Officially now on Zoom, I am Pete Tequila now.
Yeah. He's so dedicated to this company that he changed his name to Pete Tequila.
For tax purposes.
For tax purposes. He can do his own tax write-offs.
I don't know who he is.
But yeah, no, that's how it was born. It was a labor of love. Everybody would ask us, when's your tequila coming out? You guys talk about it all the time. I'm like, you don't rush art. Right. And we did it, and we got it right. We got it right the first time.
I think the way y'all were describing it, we were hearing it, and that's what we walked away with from Mexico, was that distinctive flavors, everything that you taste with Dos Cuernos, believe it is not by accident.
When we brought the first samples over, because we said this is a winning tequila, but let's let our family and friends decide. So we actually kind of smuggled tequila on the plane.
You smuggled across the border?
What? We're already excellent smugglers. That's what we can smuggle some tequila. You know what I mean? Just some extra weight. You know what I mean?
What's that? They're just Pampers.
Yeah. So we didn't want to pay commercial licenses. If the FBI's watching, we probably have to delete this part out. But so we kind of disguised them.
Limitations on
yeah. we disguised the bottles in a different, in a different set of bottles. That way they look like personal bottles that we're bringing over. And I just remember walking through the airport, passing the security line with a blue duffel bag of tequila, and I felt like the movie Blow, with Johnny Depp, you know what I mean, with the song Go, and, you know what I mean, it was.
Oh no, I did. I was like, I just make it to that door.
Yeah, once you make it to that door, we're in the clear. But since then, we had family, friends. They all tried it. They all loved it, except my crazy uncle. I don't know why he didn't like it.
Yeah, he said something about it. That's all right.
That's why he's my crazy uncle.
I've had people tell me, it's just, I don't like it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, not everybody's gonna like it. You know what I mean?
Which is fine, and it's great, and that's why we didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning. That's why James kind of went on with it, because we really wanted to hear your unbiased opinion. We didn't want to talk about our company and then y'all say, hey, no, this is really good. We really, really wanted to hear y'all's raw feedback.
And it was really spot on. I like the way I described the flavors and just, the way you can mix it up, just shoot it or sip it. It's very versatile, this tequila. You know what I mean?
So a lot of tequila, tequila's got to come from Mexico. You guys are Pflugerville based. Where in Mexico is the farm? Where's this stuff grown at?
So it's called Hacienda de Oro, and it's a small mom and pop distillery. So we met with the biggest distilleries, the most historic distilleries, all the way to even the mom and pop distilleries. So what you're getting is a real farm-based craft tequila that took its time, nothing that's large and industrial and ugly. Now this one is a very beautiful hacienda And we're going to pull up right now the website of our distillery, which is called Hacienda de Oro. Perfect. And they grow their own agave, so they have a lot more quality control in terms of the product that goes into it. You know what I mean? And they do sell it and they outsource some stuff, but they don't distill it too many times like you would, other vodkas. Just distill twice. You know what I mean? We want to keep a lot of the flavors. And then the soil that it's grown in, it's just all organic. You know what I mean? No pesticides. And it's a really, really quality piña, which is what you call after you kind of chop off all the spice there. And great agave means great tequila.
Yeah,
and so we the distillery, the lady that we met with, she was the only one who followed up with us and said, hey, tomorrow I'm going to pick y'all up and I'm going to take you to the distillery. They picked us up, introduced us to the dad who owns it, introduced us to the engineers who actually create all the recipes for the tequila. We were just wowed. We were floored. And it's a small, humble little town about maybe 20 minutes from the city of Tequila, 45 minutes away from Guadalajara. We fell in love with the hacienda. He fell in love with the owner's daughter. But no, he's mixing business and pleasure there. But they have a great family, a great story, and they just produce some quality tequila. And then we were won over. It's like, we're going with you guys. And then from there, the rest is history. Yeah.
So, in the whiskey world, which we're all used to, in the whiskey world, we're used to them bringing in barrels, or a distillery makes the barrels and they blend them to get volume.
Mm-hmm.
With a place like Hacienda de Oro, are they doing that? Or are you getting barrels and then you taste, or is it they blend it all together for you and they know your flavor profile?
Well,
how do they?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, they can make any tequila you want, any flavor. You want it spicier, you want it sweeter, you want it flatter, you want it more airy. They'll do whatever customization you want. That's what I love about it, because they have the resources to do that. However, and so what we did, we first filled out a profile. How do you want your tequila to taste? So we're all over the map, and it took a few trial runs to really get it. So one day we were there, it's like, I like that, but I hate that. So like, that's really good in terms of flavor. Yeah, can you do a hybrid? And so they just started tweaking the recipe every day until the last batch that we tried. It was gold. It was down to 3 recipes, and then it was the second one that we tried, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is different.
This was going way too smooth. I wasn't even saying anything. I was letting them go at it. I was like,
you keep talking. I got some drinking.
Yeah, I got some drinking.
This is good stuff.
I think that's one of the things I find interesting about the tequila distilleries is, it's not that you have one distillery and that's it, and they make your stuff exclusively. They do have the ability to recreate from a recipe, unlike a whiskey where they have to continually blend it with what's coming out of the still. And growing these plants, they don't grow overnight.
No, 6 years.
6 years to grow one of those, to harvest. So what they grow today, it might be a drought, for the 2-3 years. It could be, and that has a big effect on the plant.
It does.
So for them to be able to come out with a consistent flavor that you guys are able to pick from, I think it's great. And I think that's something that a lot of people lose sight of when they start looking at tequilas is, well, it's not your distillery, you're just sourcing it. That's not true. You're not just sourcing it.
No,
yeah, we didn't go down there and say, hey, what's in that barrel, put in that bottle, let's go.
Right.
We said,
and which a lot of companies do, unfortunately. They take it away from the craft process, and all they do is market it. You know what I mean? And which is great. You need great marketing. But we wanted something that looks great on the inside, but tastes even better. Looks great on the outside, but tastes even better on the inside. I'm already mixing my words. That means I'm shot. My mouth is dry.
Something's going to taste good in the end.
Yeah. I think that's something that I really want you guys to take away, the Probst Guild to take away, is craft tequila like this is not just I sourced it and put it into a bottle and sold it. These guys go down there on a continuous basis and do quality control the product. And that is something that I think is vital important to something that we're going to support and put our name behind. Is it's not just a source product. And we've had that conversation about truth in advertising, especially when it comes to Texas brands. We talked about sourcing. Milam and Green is very open about they source their Tennessee whiskey and blend it. But you have the craftsmanship of Marsha behind them, and she's blending it. This is very similar in that these guys are the ones going down there and flavor profiling it to say, that's my recipe. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
So let's kind of change and you can take the slide down. I'm sorry. I want to switch up a little bit and talk about A couple things. Obviously, Jeremy brought up, reposados and añejos and
Yeah.
blancos. So go ahead and educate the rest of us on what those different types of tequilas are first. And then is there something in your future in those?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely. They are very much in our future. It takes months to create a reposado añejo. For a reposado, you need to have it aged about a month or 2 months, all the way up to 8 and 9 months. And so that's kind of the sweet spot for reposado. Añejo, anything above that, more than that, you're considering it an añejo.
So what is reposado and añejo? Once just aged?
Yeah, so it's pretty much the amount of time that you're aging it in a whiskey barrel. So traditionally, you got the Jim Beams, the Jack Daniels, all those whiskeys. They ship the barrels to Mexico, and so they'll start to age your Blanco tequila in those barrels. And so after a couple of months, they start to get, so pretty much like a whiskey, they start to gravitate and get the color of the barrel, trying to soak it all in. And a lot of folks who try a reposado añejo, sometimes they taste the oakiness of it, the wood is, and they think it's a little stronger, but actually it's just the different flavors that you're getting. It's actually it's a little bit smoother once you age it longer, because a lot of the alcohol tends to dissipate into the barrels itself. So you might not be having a full 40%, but there are a lot of great flavors out there. And you can get fancy with your barrels. If you don't want to age them in a whiskey barrel, you can age them in a wine barrel. You can age them in oak barrels from France, from Chile. That's starting to become a very, very popular request as we're seeing it with our distilleries. So we're gonna, we're still doing a lot of R&D right now, but fairly soon, if it's not at the end of the year, next year, we definitely want to start rolling out our reposado añejo. We wanted folks to try the true tequila out of the distillery, because once you try it out of that, it's been aged in a barrel, you don't have the true recipe that you're trying, because it's already been aged, which is still going to be a great tequila. But so get folks to really like the original recipe, and then we're going to follow up and then hit them with the reposado, hit them with the añejo, and then there's also called the cristalino, which is even. It's aged as much as añejo, and it's super nice, super smooth. But what they do, they triple filter. Yeah, they triple filter to remove all the coloring of the bronze and añejo color, and it looks like a blanco. So you think you're drinking a blanco, but you're actually drinking an añejo, and it's super neat. It's very, very cool.
I mean, really smooth.
Yeah,
really smooth. But for our blanco, the foundation of our tequila, we're very proud of, and look forward to bringing y'all reposado añejo, because if you could sip this, just imagine what the reposado and the añejo is going to be able to offer to your drinks. And
one thing we're proud of is that this is one of the few blancos that you can enjoy by itself. You don't need that lime, you don't need that salt, you don't need that chaser
or the coconut.
I'm the only chaser you get. I'll chase you.
Chasing that in real life. But there's very few blanco tequilas that you can actually just enjoy, sit back and just sip it and enjoy. You know what I mean? Because traditionally, blanco tequila, you use it for your cocktails, you use it for your margaritas, your palomas, your ranch waters, and you can use our tequila for all that too. They make great cocktails, but this one you can just breathe it in. And this is the
So what we just made, if you're curious, we took the tequila and 50-50, and it's the La Dama. It's an orange liqueur from Revolution Spirits, and mixing that with the tequila. That's pretty good. If you want some ice, I've got some ice in there.
Oh no, it doesn't need ice.
So these guys haven't tried this before. We were actually talking about before we started this. What's great about this tequila is, like you said, mixing with cocktails, and something as simple as grabbing some of the Italian sodas. These are just the Central Market Italian sodas, and mixing it with that to make, I'll say a poor man's margarita, because you really don't need anything. Just throw some tequila in with that and blend it to whatever level you want and sip on it on a nice warm day.
My idea of
Jeremy wants to.
There's nothing to it.
Jeremy said, let's talk about what a tequila recipe really means. With bourbon, we have corn, we have rye, we have wheat, we have barley. What's in a basic tequila recipe? Because you mentioned, going down there and blending that.
Right. So just the basic kind of our recipe to make it is just the way it starts the process. So you chop off all the spikes and then you get the core, which is the piña, which looks like the pineapple. After that, you cook it, you heat it up, and once you do that, they start to kind of smash it all together to get all the juice.
Yeah.
So they call it el jugo. And so with that jugo, and then you start throwing in the fermentation process. Once the fermentation process is going, the distilling process, and then so that's where it starts to kind of all the flavors start to come together. The alcohol starts to be created, and then when it comes to the tail end of it, the distillation process is only twice. We only distill it twice, and we also air it out a little bit. Just air it out right at the end, just to help with the smoothness.
Let that vapor, the alcohol vapor come out.
Let it air out.
That
Yeah.
was like a secret. Like I didn't know about that when they started talking about airing it out. I was like, what?
Mhm. And so, if you ever go to Mexico, and if you do have the pleasure of traveling, next year or so, visit a distillery, and it's very, very neat on how the process is. There's going to be a lot of bugs flying around just because there's a lot of sweetness of the nectar of the piña, but it is a very historic way. And he was mentioning earlier that the process that they're making it. Our tequila,
yes,
has been handed down for generations from the very, very beginning.
Yeah, you were saying they make this similar to how they make a mezcal. So
Yes.
it goes back to that traditional,
That's why you have those
That
properties
smoky-
yes.
Yeah. What the slide that's up right now, you guys are reading, the tequila, it talks about the piña like he was talking about. And if you've never seen these things are massive. It's a huge root ball that's, like it says here, 80 to 200 pounds.
Yeah. And they'll get taller than you.
Yeah.
They're
Hey,
a small car.
They're infested with
the baby ones are taller.
They're infested with critters. I mean, they got bugs and scorpions and spiders and everything inside of those things. Yeah.
Well, because and also that's why there's the whole pesticides. I mean, some use it, but we don't. We don't.
Yeah, and that was some of
That's probably what you're tasting in there. Some scorpion.
No, that's why I brought it up was because it's true that a lot of places do use those pesticides to stop those, but having it natural, those are there. When they chop off the stems and stuff and just have that root ball, it's not a big deal anymore.
Right.
But then they take this and they macerate it. So if you guys haven't seen the maceration process, you can kill that. The maceration process are basically taking this and shredding it and cooking it, and it converts, and then you end up with this sap, like a sugar sap that comes out of it. And that sugar sap is what they then go through the distillation process of. And the water that they use, you guys are using rainwater. It's natural rainwater.
All natural water from that community that they hold, and it's a very earthy place. Very earthy. There's a lot
You're
of
talking about the volcano,
right? Yeah, I'll let you tell that.
So 200 years ago, that area right there, there was a volcano called Tequila, and it blew up 200 years ago, and all that right there rested on the elevation of the ground. I'm happy to say that that's where our tequila is growing.
And all the with all the the process of the volcano, whatever. It all actually created very fertile soil,
right?
Very fertile soil. So you got a lot of great plant life. But with the soil, it also
it's a natural filter.
Yeah, it's a natural filter, and then it starts to infiltrate the flavor of the agave. You know what I mean? And so that's why at the end you get that peppery flavor. Now, traditionally, your lowlands. So there's two regions in Mexico where the agave is grown. There's called the highlands and the lowlands. The highlands is a sweeter agave. Typically, there's a lot of flowery flavors. A lot of citrusy flavors that you'll get, and just because a lot of the plants that grow around it tend to manipulate the flavor of the agave. And then you got the lowlands, so it's a lot more earthier, a lot more soil, volcanic. You know what I mean? And so, but what's really unique about our agave is that we managed to have the best flavors, both flavors in one drink.
Best of both worlds.
The best of
The
both
highlands
worlds.
and the lowlands.
So we have a flavor that has the sweet agave flavor at the beginning, smooth delivery, and then right at the end you get the peppery finish, which is very traditional with a lowlands agave.
Yeah, most of all the lowland tequila is utilized for mezcal. All that right there is going to all the mezcal companies are using all the lowland agave, and all the tequila, which is why you get a lot of floral. You don't get that earthy, peppery from a lot of name brand tequilas.
So we have a question here. It's how many barrels or how many peñas does it take to make a barrel?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, man.
I'll answer for you.
Yeah.
It varies because those peñas can be anywhere from 50, 60 pounds to 200 pounds.
Mhm.
So it really does vary.
Yeah.
And if it's a drought year versus a fertile year, there's so many variables that go into it because those sugars are what they're pulling out, unlike a grain where they're just turning it to a malt and steeping it. This has so many variables.
A lot of it has to do with the quality of the agave plant as well. Because if you have a better quality, sometimes you'll need less because you'll get able to get better nectar out of it, more so than ones that don't produce as much. Then you're going to need more of it.
Yeah. So one of the things that these guys had talked about real quick was you guys use a process similar to the mezcal, and the difference. The mezcal, it actually goes back to, some people call it the moonshine of Mexico, because they can take those peñas whole and they basically create a fire and they throw them in the fire in the ground and they smoke them and cook them in the ground before they pull those things out, put them into a big pot and do the maceration basically by hand, as opposed to a production facility that's going to do the maceration and cook them in a pot and take that sap off. So that process does add that smokiness, which we picked up on the flavor on this. I've monopolized a lot of time, so is these guys. Questions, comments before we go any deeper talking about other cocktails and stuff. Everyone talking.
Yeah, real quick, you had mentioned that you're kind of changing the flavor profile and they were kind of changing the recipe. What else is in it if it's not 100% agave, or how are they kind of changing that profile if there's really no aging?
That's a great question.
Right. No, yeah. One of the processes that we talked, so the airing out, that changes the profile. The distilling part, that changes the profile, because then from there you're starting to filter out a lot of different ingredients, which you think you're smoothing it out, but you're actually getting rid of a lot of the original agave, the natural, the flavors.
It's the same kind of still as what we use in whiskey. So that line arm, the angle of the line arm, actually does have a lot to do with the oils versus the sweetness. It's the same concepts that we have in whiskey, and the distillery has the ability to change all of that. So they would know that for these guys' recipe, we're going to change that line arm to a little bit more aggressive to pull up more of those oils and sugars and deeper, versus going to something less of an angle. They know that, twice distilled versus a 4 or 5, 6 times distilled.
Right.
So it's little things like that that they take.
It's a recipe, and it's our recipe and can't be utilized for another tequila. In other words.
So maybe don't think of it necessarily as recipe like I'm going to add a cup of flour and 2 sticks of butter and stuff like that, but it's actually a recipe of the process, more than anything.
Yeah, gotcha. So it's still 100% agave, right?
Oh yeah, it's 100% Blue Weber agave.
They can't call it tequila by law if they add or do anything else to it.
Right. We signed a paper with the government.
As long as it was like 50 or 51% agave, then you can still, and it was made in those regions and followed the other rules, it can still be considered tequila.
Yeah, majority. Yeah, it has to be majority agave to be called tequila. And they'll throw in other stuff. They'll throw in sugarcane. They'll throw in, they'll throw in
coloring. They'll throw in
coloring. Yeah. And there's also, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit. There's some reposados and añejos. Instead of actually doing it right and aging it in the barrel the right way, they'll just throw in it with wood chips. They'll throw your tequila, do a wood chip to try to fast track the process. And so what you're thinking that you're drinking one that's been aged for several months, it's just one that they kind of took a shortcut to get it there. But yeah, those are
almost like if you're a bourbon guy and you want to throw a spiral wood chip inside of your bottle.
Yeah, no, that was a great question, Ramon.
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking that.
One other question, if you don't mind, is it machine pressed or is it rock? Is it a roca?
I think it's machine pressed.
Yeah, the rock. Yeah, the old style. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, no, it's a machine press.
Yeah, ours. Yeah, I mean the process of developing the tequila, it still dates back to when the Aztecs were doing it, with the exception of modern technology like doing that, using machines and stuff like that to expedite the process
the mezcal still uses the rock press. So basically think of an old rock roller with a mule on the end of the arm, walking this big old rock around and it squeezes it like olive oil and grapes and stuff like that. It's the same kind of process.
But instead of the mule, we'll throw Pete in and he'll just start.
That's what I've been doing for the last. I should look like Conan.
Yeah, that's it. I should look like you might get sweaty. You might get a little bit of a musk,
some tears for sure. Like, where are my friends?
All right, so a couple questions that I'm sure these guys will want to know, and I know Ian can pull up the website. You guys are seeing some of the stuff up here behind us on the website, but where can we buy this? And you guys are kind of newer to the market within the past year or two.
Yes, absolutely. Like we officially became a business entity in 2014, but the bottles didn't arrive to Austin, Texas until last year, right when COVID hit, right when the pandemic and everything shut down. And we were crushed, but actually we used that to our advantage right when the bottles landed, because the airwaves for marketing and for events, for everything,
just failed,
just stopped by all the major brands,
everything.
And so we captured all that airwave by saying, you know what, let's accelerate our marketing. Let's accelerate doing that. A lot of guerrilla marketing, you know, hand to hand doing events at James.
A lot of monkey business.
You know what I mean? A lot of a lot of things.
A lot of stuff for me, that guys too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's an event coming up.
Yes. Oh, if you're in Fredericksburg, if you happen to be in Fredericksburg this Saturday, or if just want an excuse to get out of town, so there's a beer, tacos, and tequila festival that's happening.
Tacos, tequila.
Yeah, the three best things on this planet.
Hold on, women.
You forgot about women.
Go into your body and kind of stuff like that.
We'll drink to that.
Yeah. And so we're going to be there. We're a sponsor. We're going to have a booth. They bought 5 cases. We're going to buy back 2, so that way we can sample with everybody. So if you're going to be there, and if you want to have beer, if you want to have tacos,
if you want to see how really tall I am,
get his actual height. And if you want to continue to drink Austin's newest and smoothest premier tequila, come out, support us. You know what I mean? We'll be giving out. We should have some merchandise. We just bought this fancy looking tent. It kind of looks like a sales ship. You know what I mean? There's a flag and everything.
I'm gonna go post it underneath 35.
Yeah. And you can't give it after the 11th. You got
I know, but that's just enough time.
We have an event at, was it the Krusty Krab or?
Oh no, yeah, Crab Kings. Yeah, the Krusty Krab Kings.
I was like, Krusty Krab.
It's like, oh,
I must be. What's his name?
SpongeBob. Yeah. But no, Crab Kings. We got that event on May 14th. That's a Friday evening. So we're also going to be pouring free tequila. So if you like seafood,
we're going to that, by the way, as a Probst Guild event. That's going to be a Probst Guild event that Friday.
Well, there we go.
Come and join us. Come meet us.
Yeah.
Come meet Pete Tequila himself.
What hours are you guys going to be there?
We'll be in the evening. It'll be kind of around dinner time. It would probably be maybe from like, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock all the way through 8, 9. We'll be there as long as we need to be.
Yeah, we didn't really put like a set timing because we're gonna hang out and eat food and drink tequila.
Yeah, right. The only things that we know how to do very well.
Since we met each other, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, we just gave it an excuse to continue to do it.
I just think that I'm like, wow.
So you can pick this up at Moondance.
Yes,
locally. Moondance has its specs. You've got a couple specs that have this.
We have one specs that's at the Arbor Walk location. So they're off of Mopac, kind of Arboretum area.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, no, I love that store. And we got several stores all around. So we got 2 in Round Rock, 2 in Cedar Park. We got 2 in South Austin now. We got 1 in Hutto. We got 1 in Lakeway. So wherever you are, there are a lot of mom and pop liquor stores that we focus on. If you go to the Tequila Social Club tab, we should have a list of all the stores, a running list of all the stores where you can pick up our tequila. Right now, a lot of the larger corporate franchises like your Specs, your Total Wine, your Twins, we're still kind of in works with them. They make it a little bit challenging for us newcomers to really kind of, we have to meet with them, set up meetings. We have to, kiss a lot of butt. And
I think we have to pay somebody.
Might have to pay under the table or whatever.
I'm spending all my money on my tequila. I ain't paying them nothing.
No, but sooner or later we'll be on the radar. The way we got into Specs Arbor Walk is, we just
my sister
just kept calling the store manager until they ended up carrying us.
Not like that, but Jesus.
Yeah, and
call me a beast.
And if you love sharing stuff on Instagram, Facebook, if you happen to pick up one of our balls, we're singling them out. You're going to be eating Mexican food, and you're going to be drinking your margarita, your paloma, and your tequila.
We doing the salsa or the merengue.
Yeah, tag us.
Show me that one.
I don't know how to do that. The only thing I got from my stepdad, because he was from Mexico,
Your
was
height?
tequila. No, not even that. Just the ability to drink tequila
Yeah, I didn't give him the liver. The liver.
and the liver. Yeah.
Ramon, go to their website and you can find the link on their website. Oh, he did already.
Oh, we got a question, yeah, for Cedar Park. Disconnected, okay.
Well, I'll let them know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Longhorn Liquor on Cypress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Longhorn Liquor and Don's
on
Liquor.
Whitestone.
Yeah.
Don's is right by his house, so we'll make sure he knows to go to
Okay.
Don's.
Yeah.
That's right where he lives. Guys, we can go all night long. I mean, we have 2 bottles of tequila here.
Speaking of,
Oh, shit, I killed my. You were behind. We already
We
had
already had-
ours.
remember?
We'll say, we've been working on it.
it's a marathon, not a,
Oh,
yeah.
I can't run marathons. Those dudes like me, my legs start hurting.
So I guess the other questions, 1 and 2, what are your Probst Guild impression of this tequila in light of your knowledge of or lack of knowledge of tequila? Is this something that you can actually say, like we did with gin? Remember, you guys I don't like gin, and you tried Still Austin's gin, you went, holy crap.
Everybody got gin.
Kendall, I'm going to call you out, bud.
So, wow. I
Kendall, hello.
had tequila long ago, and it wasn't a good time because it was too much. But this is really delicious. When I first smelled it, I didn't know what it was. But it was just, wow, what is this? And it's very sippable and very smooth. And I've knocked off about half of what I have. I'm going to have more, James.
Yes, sir.
No, well, hey, thank you, Kendall.
Appreciate it, Kendall.
That means a lot. And,
It does.
one thing that we just love about our tequila is just that a lot of our customers, because we do tastings every weekend, we're always trying to be at a different store, because the best way to sell it is just get it in people's hands, get it in people's mouths, let them try it for themselves. Because other than that, you're just a new tequila. Does the world need another tequila? Maybe, maybe not, but we said yes, and so we created one. But the number one way to get folks to like it is to try it. And a lot of our new customers and a lot of our new fans are non-tequila drinkers.
Yep.
They're the ones who swore it off. They're the ones who say, no, I had that bad college night.
That was me.
Yeah, that was it.
That's me. Look at me now. Look at me now.
Yeah, he'll tell you the story in a second of how he swore it off for years. But they try it and they say, you know what? This isn't my dad's tequila. This isn't my granddad's tequila. This is actually a premier quality, affordable craft tequila.
Mm-hmm.
And we priced it at a price that we can afford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your price point?
So the cheapest you'll find it at the stores is $39.99. The more expensive ones you'll find it around $42.
$42.99.
Yeah, $42, $43.
A $40 bottle of tequila
Hey,
is.
Martha, what?
What was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. And one, yeah, like I said, we're our number one customers because every weekend I go to the store and buy, we're not drinking out of our own supply. We actually go and buy and purchase our own tequilas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we wanted something that we can afford. So that's why it's a premier tequila without the premier price. You're not paying $50, $60, $70 for a bottle of Patron, Don Julio, 3Gs or anything like that. You're getting something that's local, something that tastes fantastic, coming from 3 humble guys that just, wanted to keep partying.
And I think I want to say, on behalf of the club, thank you guys, because I know that the bottles that they're drinking came out of your pocket. This wasn't out of a marketing budget from some, massive distillery. This is out of 3 guys, their pocket. They bought the bottle so you guys could taste and sample it. That's dedication to a brand for a startup business that we haven't seen on any of the events we've done yet. And to me, that's powerful. And that they believe that much in their product, but we believe in their product that much that, as much as we can push this out there, I will. I'll champion this all day, every day.
Yeah.
You guys have been partying at my house. Brooker, I know you, buddy, have had shots of this at my house on more than one occasion.
Brooker, I recognize you.
Yeah.
Booker! I'm gonna find you,
I
Booker.
had my mic mute. Is that where you recognize me from? I thought you looked familiar.
Yeah. No, I love that that waving hair you got. You know what I mean? It's just it's undeniable.
We all got wavy hair. Man.
Man, wavy hair club.
Hey,
one of the drinks you guys introduced us to. We had an event here at my place a year ago, and we had a DJ, we had a bartender, and we had a lot of tequila.
A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We kept going to the store making tequila.
Yeah, we were making tequila runs. It was a lot of tequila. I'm sure that the recycling guy was like, "What the hell's going on?"
You're used to it from
yeah.
us by now.
But you introduced us to a thing called the coquito.
Oh, that is my
you said the magic word. So you have your Jack and Cokes, you have your whiskey Cokes, rum and Cokes. You never have tequila and Coke.
No,
they don't pair very well. You know what I mean? They call them charros negros.
Charro negro. Charro negro.
Which kind of means kind of a black cowboy or something like that. Charro is like a mariachi also, with the
I didn't know.
and so he doesn't know what he's drinking. But it's something that you don't really pair well.
No.
It's not, except when our tequila came around.
Exactly.
For some reason, and it has to be Mexican Coke. It can't be.
You need that the real sugar.
Real sugar. Yep.
Yeah, and it really does pair like unbelievable. Like in the mornings, I drink orange juice and tequila. But this, it's like a mimosa, but with a better kick and obviously better flavors. You know what I mean? And you don't have that. Well, it depends on how much you drink. But you won't.
And then for lunch, it's not alcoholic.
And then for lunch, I do the charro negro. I get my Mexican Coke and my tequila, and I enjoy my tequila and my Coke. Two name brands. And
the recipe is really simple. It's a bottle of Mexican Coke. You might have a sip or two off, but that open air gap in the top that off with tequila, flip it over,
and you're good.
There you go.
And no one's the wiser. You know what I mean? You're at lunch. You're just drinking a Mexican Coke.
eating your birthday.
All right, Eric Kendall, remember that.
And so and we had that. We brought like how many cases of 24 cases of the little
This
Mexican
was the
Coke.
first place I actually fell in love with coquito because because I was like, oh my god, that's how I ended up butt naked.
And that's how
I came home from visiting my mom, and Allie, the first thing she says is, "Mom, you gotta have this."
Try this.
Yeah, the coquitos. Yeah.
No, it's really good. It's something you wouldn't imagine Coke pairing with tequila. Like I said, I'm a whole lot older than I look. So I was hanging out in 96 at this party, and we shut that party down, right? Me and the guy who owned the house, everybody left, and he had 3 bottles of tequila, two Jose Cuervo Gold and 1 Jose Cuervo Silver. And me and that fool, we played this, I forgot what it was a quarter game into the shot glasses, and we killed
those called quarters.
I never knew what the game. It's my quarter of my liver was like, you bastard. No, so it was like 3 bottles, 2 guys, and I was like, swore I never.
2 guys and.
Yeah, sounds bad already. And tequila's involved, so I wasn't gonna have nothing to do with tequila after that.
He swore off tequila. He couldn't smell it, couldn't drink it, couldn't be near it.
Nothing.
To the point because then I started hanging out with this guy, and he's like, "Hey man, let's do some tequila," and he's all like, "I can't do it." and so I had to bring him in.
Let me be honest with you, man.
He's like, I had to bring him back with quality tequila, man. Like it's like that tequila that you drank isn't 100% agave for one. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
You have to drink quality tequila. So I had to kind of reel him back in. I was like, hey, bro, if you're going to own a tequila company, you have to like tequila too. And so I had to reel him back in.
Y'all don't even know how much tequila that I had to drink on account of this guy. So now look, cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
Because I could drink tequila.
Yeah. And now his name is Pete Tequila.
That's right.
If you're ever at El Racon here in Pflugerville.
Yeah.
Ask for if you're ever ordering a margarita or any tequila drink, they have Dos Cuernos.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that their margaritas with Dos Cuernos is so much better than with whatever.
You really do taste the difference. And back to my comments on the agave, sweet agave at the beginning, smooth delivery, peppery finish. All those complex flavors that you get that kind of counterbalance each other. So you got the sweetness and the pepperiness that also gets reflected in your drink. So if you have a sweet drink like a margarita, something that's tart, that's sour, that's citrusy, the pepperiness comes out and that helps to balance it out. Yeah. Exactly. Now, if you have a drink that doesn't have much flavor, if you like your Topo Chicos, your mineral waters, then that's when the sweetness at the beginning gets a lot more involved in your cocktail
Mhm.
enhanced.
Yeah.
And so that's where it makes up for it. And it doesn't take a lot to get a lot of the essence. I mean, if you drink it on ice, you start to get also some vanilla undertones too.
Yeah, we have some ice in the bucket there, but
Yeah.
I know we're
Yeah.
had a shot or two in a bottle. I think the bottle's empty now.
No, I think, yeah. You know, and
It doesn't. This bottle doesn't last long.
It
with
doesn't.
friends.
No.
the thing is, this is a
No.
750. You know, it's your standard size. But
We've emptied one of our bottles in a night.
yeah, no, it goes back super
So,
quick.
So we're not trying to mark anything, but when you buy, you should buy two.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Because it really one's not enough.
It's not.
Especially once you
No.
start getting going and you start
especially when
enjoying
have
it.
21-year-olds around.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. Buy one bottle for one person. Maybe try to equate that. You know.
I gotta tell you, I mean, you guys see us sitting here and we're just enjoying. This is how these guys are. I mean, it is a party when you're hanging out with them. When we go out there,
I'm trying to behave.
he is.
Yeah, he's at a level 5 right now. You don't want to see a 6 or a 7.
I not that I drank a lot yesterday, but I spent plenty of time at the bar snoozing this girl.
Did it work?
Yeah, apparently.
Really?
He's planting his own agave seeds.
I think so. We might have a date next Friday. I don't know.
Might.
Well, because if she
Wait, next Friday we're doing your thing.
next
Hey,
Friday.
Crab Kings. Hey, take her to Crab Kings.
Yeah.
Wait,
I want to meet her.
Next Friday's the ACL thing. I gotta show up.
Oh, so we got multiple
Oh,
events.
geez, wow. All right.
That's why there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
That's why there's 3 of us.
So there's this coming Friday, and then there's the following Friday.
Right. Oh no. So yeah, there's this Saturday.
And Saturday.
Yeah, there's Saturday. Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg Saturday.
Yes.
Next Friday's Crab King.
Yes.
This Friday's ACL.
Oh, so this Friday's ACL.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, just bring your.
You got me on this. I got my calendar.
I have to send him invites. So you just learn how to email people. And so,
Hey.
and so I got him like, hey, we need you here. We need you here. So he's Pete Tequila. You know, whenever we have big events that we need him to schmooze with a lot of, local artists, local owners or whatever. We send him out there and he shows up with a bottle or two.
I'm the guy. I dress better.
So your guys' mission, should you choose to accept it, which you're going to because you don't have a choice, is for Cinco de Mayo, get a bottle, share it with friends.
Yeah.
You're going to try this with Topo Chico. You can try it with the lemonade. You're going to try it with Coquito. Get the Mexican Coke bottle, try it with the Coquito. Have fun with this bottle. This is a tequila that you do not drink with a lime and salt. This is a tequila you sip. Throw an ice cube in it, sip on it. It's amazing. Drink
Or
it
get
hot.
the smoker, right?
Yeah. Oh, the smoker. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is someone calling me out?
Didn't we?
Yeah, no, I gotta give James all the props.
That is this gentleman's.
Yeah, no,
that right
because
there.
the smoker comes from James.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first night I met this awesome gentleman was here at his house at his bar. He was showing me all the bells and whistles, but then he capped it off with this box, this magical box. I'm
Yeah.
like, what you got in there?
What's going on?
He's like, oh. He's like, you never had a smoker before? I'm
What?
like, almost like
I'm the only smoker he knows.
And so when we started, trying, and then he had the smoker also for the event that we had at his house. And so we're sold it like we got to get a smoker, we got to put our name on it, and then I take it to all our events. All our events are our tastings. So the great, wonderful tequila that you just tried, we can also smoke it in amber. We can smoke it in bourbon soaked oak. In mesquite. I mean, there's various wood chips, not wood chips. Wood shavings. We put it into an infuser, put it in the box, and then the smoke starts to marinate with the flavor of the tequila.
Right. So now the question is.
Do I need to go grab my box?
I mean, you might. Yeah.
We might need a demonstration.
Yeah. So
James, you brought this up.
Oh man, I knew I should have went over to your house.
To enjoy. So for your whiskey drinkers that enjoy that barrel taste, that smoke taste, that offers that to y'all at an expedited fashion.
Absolutely.
Without waiting for the reposado or the añejo. I can almost assure you that you'll get a hint of what our reposado and our añejo will taste like because of that smoker.
Instead of waiting several months, we captured it in a matter of a minute or so, just smoking it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And remember, whatever you do, whatever cocktails you make, post it on social media.
Yeah. So yeah, you can on Instagram, Facebook, we love posting stuff just because we get a lot of authentic folks that just really like the tequila and like to share their experiences. I mean, we love to share our experiences and have a great time. So if you're having a great time, and our tequila happens to be a part of it, then we want to know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
we want
Do
to
you
take,
remember what the spicy drink was we had at James? It
There
was like a
was,
vampire or death.
vampiro.
or
the
something.
vampiro. Yeah, he was making the
Yeah.
vampiro.
It was kind of a red colored one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The vampire. I was gonna call, what's his name? The vampire.
No, his name's Oscar Hernandez. He's a great bartender, same height as Pete.
He might be a vampire though.
Yeah, but he might be a vampire. But he just makes some fantastic. He bought this rare fruit from Mexico that just blooms 2 months out of the whole year. It costs like $25 or $30 just for this one piece of fruit. Brought it in from Mexico and was making cocktails out of it. You know what I mean? And the guy's a magician.
He is.
He's not a vampire. He's a magician. And he introduced everybody to the coquitos.
Yeah.
Also, what we're getting right now is a demonstration. So what you have right there is your infuser, and he's sprinkling not something that's colored green and will make you kind of feel a little bit different.
I know nothing about what you're talking about.
But it is they are wood kind of wood shavings. You light it up, you get the infuser going, and so that creates a pocket of smoke that gets funneled from the infuser all the way into the box. And so in the box, that's where a lot of the agave rich flavored tequila starts to.
Dead.
Oh yeah, you might have to.
Now my battery's dead.
Well, we'll see if this starts to kind of make its way into the box. But long story short, the smoke and the tequila just complement each other. That smoothness of a flavor that you had already, it just starts to mellow out a little bit, and then you just get this great taste of tequila. So if you come out to our tastings or events, we always carry one. And if you want to try it smoked, it'll be more. If you're in Pflugerville, come by my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, come by my house.
That's what I do.
Yeah. On a Sunday evening, he'll stop by. He's like, "Hey, you got tequila?" I was like, "Of course I do have tequila."
I know where there's tequila on
Yeah.
a Sunday. Actually, on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dead. I'm sorry, guys. The
No, no, no.
batteries are dead.
Considering the smoke detector is right there.
Yeah, it
I'm
might
thinking that's
have.
probably-
Whatever.
We'll just take out the battery.
So, any questions, comments, love? I mean, do we give a thumbs up on this, guys?
Absolutely.
Or for your cinco, remember dos. All right, you got Cinco de Mayo, but you got to remember the dos, and that's the Dos Cuernos. If you don't have Dos Cuernos tequila with your Cinco de Mayo, you're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You're just celebrating May the 5th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cinco
So,
de Mayo. We made this for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
This
for,
is-
for sure, for occasions like Cinco de Mayo, absolutely.
Yeah. It's for everybody to enjoy responsibly.
Yeah.
And make sure that you go out there and you support your local companies, local friends and family, and
Yeah,
your locals.
Yeah, it says
We need to get the
Pflugerville on the
alcove
bottle.
to take.
Which one?
bring it- The alcove, we need to get them to bring in here.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. It's with the bull in the back, I don't know how many variations of the bull that there was actually a Texas on the bull at one point too, that the panhandle of the snap. Oh yeah, and what we love to do at our tastings too, we take a chrome marker and we like sign the bottles for a lot of the customers.
Which would do a buyback in about 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I'll do a treasure hunt.
He's gonna do a treasure hunt. If we have all 3 signatures, you know what I mean? He's
I'll have enough money to be like, name your price for that bottle. I'm buying them all back.
You might have
Well,
to.
that-
Hey, hold on, wait a minute.
That one's not leaving my bar. Just so you know.
Yeah. Hey, Kenneth, you got a question there?
Yeah, well, it's not a question, it's a comment. As I posted in the chat earlier, I met y'all, well, y'all two weren't there, but your third partner was there. I met y'all at the Three-Legged Goat when y'all were doing y'all's event there. And yeah, and well, actually, Peter was there, but
wasn't all there though, right?
But
I'm
I
never
have
all
not
there.
bought- I have not bought a bottle of any other tequila other than Dos Cuernos since that day. This is I'm not a big tequila drinker, but I do love a good smooth tequila. And ever since I've tasted y'all's at that event, and then again at James's, there's no other tequila in my bar.
And you know what? I feel the same way. If I wasn't the owner of this, I'd be their number one customer.
Yeah. Hey, Kenneth, that means a lot, man. And,
It does.
For you and Jim, you know what I mean? Jim and all the owners at the Three-Legged Goat.
Woody, Maryland.
Yeah, Woody, all those. We're going to be in their bar soon. So right now they have license for beer and wine, but they're getting their liquor license fairly soon. I don't know if you've seen the deck. Jim has the biggest deck in Pflugerville. That's what he says. He's self-proclaimed. And so
It's all wood.
It's all wood.
Can you imagine when you slur that? Hey, man.
Who says that?
But yeah, no. So it's under construction, but we're going to be doing a lot of events there. So if you love downtown Pflugerville, visit El Rincon. You know what I mean? They're
Good food.
Yeah, good food. And then you got the Three-Legged Goat. You got some great Texas beer,
And then we got
Texas
the
wine,
three
live
locals.
music. Yeah, and then you
Live
got three
music.
locals.
I might do a little dance there for
Yeah,
them.
but any questions, y'all, about the recipe, the brand, the tequila, any locations that you're in or areas of Austin that you're in that we're not in, let us know.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be friends with local store owners, liquor store owners, that's our number one way. If you say, hey, how do I get this tequila in that store? Just have the owners call us. Call me. We'll put in an order through our distributor. Our distributor will send it right to that store. So that way you have a convenient access to this tequila. So if there's any areas of Austin that you're in that you don't have access to, for sure, let us
Right,
know.
or that we need to
Bruce
be
is
in.
out in San Angelo.
San Angelo.
San Angelo is
We're-
I'm gonna move to San Angelo.
We're gonna go west. Odessa, Midland, San Angelo. You know what I mean? Lubbock. We're going to branch out to the various parts of Texas. We got all the major markets that are on our radar. We have a couple of stores in San Antonio, a couple of stores in Corpus. But Dallas, Houston, those are quickly on our radar.
Squeeze by you half a second here.
There you go. But also West Texas too. And so we're branching out very soon.
But with y'all's help, I mean, we can let people know that this is a tequila that or people want. And once the liquor stores know that y'all, the customer, wants this product, they'll get it.
That's the quickest way.
That's the quickest way to get the product into your nearest liquor store is just going in there and be like, look, man, you know me, I'm coming here all the time. I'm looking for this tequila. Would you mind having it available for me?
Yeah. And all they have to do is reach out to us and boom, we'll have a case shipped out, the next day.
And then if you got my personal number, on Sundays, I might just drop by.
He might drive an hour or two to come meet you.
Why don't I have that personal
About
number?
4 hour. How far is it to San Angelo? 4 hours? Because I
Depends how
think
you
the
drive.
first time I took
Bruce, you're in San Angelo?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna come for you.
I'm gonna come visit. You're my reason why I'm going to San Angelo. I'm gonna go visit Bruce. I'm gonna take a bottle and we're gonna stroll around. You're gonna show me the sights.
Yeah.
San Angelo's been on my radar for like
I got
2-3
family in
years
San
already.
I got family in San Angelo. My dad would take us over there.
Really?
You
never told me
He went
this.
hunting without me
Huh?
yeah. So San Angelo is a new spot. Bruce, you're our new family. We're gonna come to you.
Yeah. And Bruce, since you live in San Angelo, I got a real quick question because this is what I heard a while back was that San Angelo is like what Austin used to be about 30 years ago. Is that correct?
God, I hope not. And I hope it won't.
30 years ago. 30 years ago.
Way back in the day.
Oh, 30? Okay. I actually remember 30 years ago in Austin. I lived on 4th and Brazos. So
Hey, by the Driscoll Hotel. Wait, that's
well, that's a
in
little further
Austin.
down. It was called the Rail Yard Apartments.
I know where those apartments are at. I've never been there, but
Yeah. Pete's what you call a unicorn for Austin. Everybody's moving to Austin. Nobody's from Austin anymore, but he's born and bred and
yeah. I even hung out in the sewers when I was little.
Yeah.
It was always keep Austin weird and it's keep San Angelo backwards.
I'm about as weird and maybe backwards as they are. You know what I mean?
Recording.
Yeah, he's gonna start walking on his hands here once we end the tape here.
Yeah, we ended the recording.